gentle angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are the gentle angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
Good morning again. Our opening hymn this morning is number 151, I Wish I Knew How, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to sing or rise and sing as the Spirit moves you. Now please rise and embody your spirit and join us in singing hymn number 151, I Wish I Knew How.
I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all these chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I can say. Say it loud, say it clear, for the whole world to hear. Say it loud, say it clear, for the whole world to hear. I wish I could share all the love in my heart. Remove all walls that still keep us apart. I wish
Thank you for joining us here in person, and thank you for joining us remotely by Zoom, where we will continue live streaming and posting these services on our YouTube channel for our virtual attendees. I'm Grace Preuss, a member of the Worship Committee, and I will be your worship associate today. Other members of the Worship Committee who make this service possible include Alec Peck, our music coordinator, Adam Wedeking, who monitors our visual and online connections, and Robert Brown, who's in charge of our sound system today. We welcome you to join us this morning with an open mind and an open heart, and with muted electronic devices, please. We invite you to leave your worries and defenses at the door and trust that what happens in worship is inspiring and powerful. Together, we affirm that this day and our being together can make each of us braver, more compassionate, and wiser as we begin a new day and a new week. Before we move into the service, there are a few announcements we'd like to share. We will mention several websites, email addresses, and phone numbers. At the end of the service, we will leave up a slide with all of this information, and it is also available on our website. First, we'd like to thank everyone who volunteered and made this weekend's yard sale possible. Despite the weather, everyone pitched in and we got some things done. So thank you very much for all of your participation. Sharing joys and concerns is one of the most important rituals in our community, an opportunity to share milestones, losses, achievements, and experiences with one another. On the first Sunday of each month, we will hear from those in the sanctuary and read any joys and concerns which we have received. For those of you at home, you can send your joys and concerns throughout the month to uuchurchofriverside@gmail.com. Our next joys and concerns will be on December 7th. Festival of Lights. We are now collecting fundraising donations for the upcoming Festival of Lights. These can include money, canned drinks, and individually wrapped snacks. Please see Kate or Robert if you wish to contribute. We appreciate your support. Following the service next week on November 23rd, and the following week on November 30th at approximately 12:30 p.m., we will have 2 screenings of Christopher Reeve movies, tying in with our famous UU's service on the 30th. We invite you to stay after coffee hour and enjoy the film together. Board meetings are held on the 3rd Thursday of the month in the annex. The next meeting will be at 5:30 p.m. on November 19th. Thanksgiving. UUCR will be opening our doors to the community on Thanksgiving Day, November 27th at 1 p.m. for our annual potluck meal. Robert will once again be serving his famous turkey, and members are invited to bring the rest of the fixings. Please see Robert or Grace, myself, for further details. A sign-up sheet will be available at the door. Please bring something to share and join us for this holiday gathering. The Social and Environmental Justice Committee meeting is today in the annex at 11:30 a.m. Adam, did you have any announcements for us today? So I'd like to invite up Adam Wedeking, Chair of the Social and Environmental Justice Committee, to tell us about his new project.
Morning. Yeah, we've got two issues we're going to talk about this morning at our Social and Environmental Justice Committee meeting. The louder I talk, the louder the echo gets, though. That's a problem. One of the first issue we're going to talk about is the restart that the UUA is doing of the Green Sanctuary program. Our church has been was certified originally as a Green Sanctuary. We haven't really done much since then, but that's, I guess, not uncommon around the UUA, and so they've kind of reformulated how that program looks. So we're going to take a look at it and see if that's something we want to get into. And then we're also going to talk about a campaign that is happening in our county in order to get an independent oversight commission of the sheriff's department here in Riverside County. There is a campaign starting to get it on the ballot, and we're going to talk about whether that's something we want to endorse and work for and work with our other UU churches in the area on supporting. So come join us at 11:30. We will be meeting in the annex. I think that's a good place today. We'll be in the annex at 11:30. So a little bit of coffee and then come over to the annex.
Thank you, Adam. Our time together is brief, but it is filled with joy. In that spirit, I invite you to turn to those around you, greet them, welcome them, and share that joy. For those on Zoom, you can use the Zoom wave gesture or just wave at your camera. See some new faces here today. Welcome to all of our visitors today, and welcome back to our old friends. We would love to meet you during coffee hour in the parish hall after the service, where you can also find our visitors tablet. Please leave your name before you leave so that we know you are here, and leave your contact information if you would like updates on church events. There will also be a short discussion after the service to share your reflections with us. For those online, the best way to get added to the mailing list is to email the church office at admin@uuchurchofriverside.org. And now I invite you to sit back and take a slow, deep breath as we move into the worship hour. You are welcome to read with me the mission statement of our church. The covenant of our church. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to live in harmony with all the living creatures and plants of the earth. This do we affirm. We are happy to welcome back today's speaker, Lee Greer. Lee Greer is an evolutionary biologist and educator married to Linda and a father of 3. Lee and Linda have been members of UU Church of Riverside for years and recently moved to Montana, where they attend the UU Church of Billings, Montana. We are fortunate to have Lee continue giving his quarterly presentations via Zoom. Swirl of autumn leaves, the transitions of life. The weightiness of the passage of time is a long-standing theme in art, poetry, and literature in many cultures. The literary motif in Latin called ubi sunt, which translates to where are, engages with a poignant, wistful human feeling of the passage of life. For example, the phrase, "Where are the snows of yesteryear?" evokes the memory of winters gone by. When we look at the passage of time from the standpoint of eternity or timelessness, we gain a new and detached perspective on our own morality. Today, let's do that together. Now we have 2 lightings of sacred flames. The first is a remembrance candle for the indigenous peoples who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. We remember that we live off the unceded land of several indigenous peoples, including the Cahuilla, the Luiseño, the Serrano, the Tongva, the Cupeño, among others. We light this sacred flame in their remembrance and in recognition of their ongoing struggle for freedom and dignity. Our second sacred flame is our own chalice, the symbol of our faith. We are blessed with the space and opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to be part of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Today's chalice lighting words are by Marjorie Montgomery. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and mysteries of this great gift. Thank you. Our hymn now is number 311, Let It Be a Dance, from the Gray hymnal. Feel free to rise or sing as the Spirit moves you. Now, please rise and embody your spirit and join us in singing hymn number 311, Let It Be a Dance.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you. Through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you. Through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like a willow with the wind. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you. Through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance.
This portion of our service is to support our beloved historical church. This can be accomplished in several ways. In addition to the weekly collection, you may send your checks to the church address, which is shown here on the slide. You may contribute by PayPal using the QR code, which is shown here, as well as on the church website and in the newsletter. Stater Brothers Market gives our church a rebate on Stater grocery cards, which we will have in church each Sunday. You get the full value of your purchase, and the church also receives a percentage for free. Please see Robert Brown in the church office if you are interested in purchasing the gift cards. Sharing our spirit. Today, we are also collecting donations for SOS, or Sharing Our Spirit, a program to help families in need during the holiday season. All of the income from this fundraiser goes into our designated SOS fund. Our goal this year is $2,500. Collections to this program are usually held on the second and fourth Sundays in October and November. We are collecting them today due to the schedule change last week. Please note that after this week, there's only one more SOS collection left to help out our neighbors in this exceptionally difficult economic climate. If we are willing and able, let's share what resources we can so that those less fortunate can enjoy a brighter holiday with their loved ones. Contact our office or our administrator, Robert Brown, for more information. Please mark all donations to this fund as SOS. You may write this on the subject line of your check or place cash contributions in the specially marked envelopes in the pews and place them in the offertory plates. Please donate as the Spirit moves you by whatever method works best for you. Thank you for your generosity. To those who give of their time and their talent, thank you for your generous care and attention. To all of you who have joined us here today, thank you for the gift of your presence. Will our ushers now please come forward to receive the collection? A tote bag will also be passed around to collect food and hygiene items for our local community. Our next hymn, number 402, From You I Receive, is from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to sing or rise as the Spirit moves you. Now, please rise, embody your spirit, and join us in singing hymn number 402, From You I Receive.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Our meditation today is the larger circle, a responsive reading by Wendell Berry. Please join me in reading the bold italicized words projected on the screen. We clasp the hands of those that go before us and the hands of those who come after us. We enter the circle of each other's arms and the larger circle of lovers whose hands are joined in a dance, and the larger circle of all creatures passing in and out of life who move also in a dance, to a music so vast and subtle that no one hears it, except in fragments. Now let us pause for a moment of silence and reflection. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Lee Greer, speaking to us on Swirl of Autumn Leaves, the Transitions of Life.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Grace. How are you doing? I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. Is the sound working for you?
Sorry, Lee. Yes, we can hear you.
Great, great, great. Good to know. Okay. Well, today we want to spend a few meditative moments and then time for reflection afterwards on the passages of life. All of us are creatures of time. We are mortal. We are trapped in time, and it's part of the natural sequences that are around us on different time scales throughout nature, and we'll use the seasons of the year as a rubric. I've picked the topic of the swirl of autumn leaves because there is a game that I've often liked to play, and that is during the autumn, the fall, when leaves are falling down with their different colors, is to try to run and catch one before it hits the ground. That game, which is harder than one thinks because of the shape of the leaves, the trajectories are not always predictable, epitomizes for me is like a symbol of the passing of life, of our life cycles, which are short, also mirroring the schedule of the year or other longer rhythms which are present and observable throughout the universe. Lauren Isley, the great poetic writer and American anthropologist of yesteryear, spoke of the times when he would stand in an undergraduate classroom and be discussing the passage of time, and he would feel the weight of time as he saw all the eager young faces before him because they were undergraduates that every year they're like forever young there in front of you, and you realize that they don't necessarily feel the weight of time in the same way that you might with more time and experience, but they also can bear heavy burdens of the passage of time. Quintus Horatius Flaccus, or Horace, or Horace, the Roman poet, back in the Augustan age, wrote this, and this is John Dryden's poetic translation. Happy is the man, and happy he alone, he who can call today his own. He who secure within can say, tomorrow do your worst, for I have lived today. Come fair or foul, or rain or shine, the joys I have possessed in spite of fate are mine. Not heaven itself over the past has power, but what has been, and I have had my hour. And that, so there are some simple wisdoms which emerge out of the experiences of life. Wisdoms, plural, because, well, they're under wisdom, but they're little gems that emerge. Carpe diem, seize the day is one of them. Cherish this now that we have in this very moment. That's part of the purpose of meditation as well, is to bury ourselves in the now at this moment. But that includes also at the longer scale than simply meditating. That means minute by minute, day by day, the weeks, the months, the change of the seasons, the rolling around of night and day, maybe unusual events like the amazing displays of the Northern Lights we've had this past week up in Montana and seen as far south, I guess, as Arizona and Oklahoma and probably Southern California too. Cherish the now. Be grateful for the gift of mortality. Now, that seems paradoxical because the shortness of life would often seem like something that one should not be thankful for, but should, like the Welsh poet Dylan Thomas, rage against the dying of the light. But actually, mortality is a gift because it makes life precious, every part of it. And we should seize every part of it and be grateful for it. Also, for the young and the old, and all those in between, we should never think that our life begins later, after this or that mark. Life is what's on right now, and we should live right now. We should also remember our place within the universe, our very small place, and the great web and tree of life spanning the billions of years. Remembering our place is to also be connected with the entirety of it all, the all. Should also recognize how lucky we are. We've already won the lottery. We are alive. We are here right now, and we have the privilege of experiencing the world as we encounter it. We should also dream well. One of the great facts, or one of the great insights, and I believe it is a factual insight into the world, was by the French existentialist philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre, where he gave the power of negation, where he noted that humans as agents in his epical 1943 work Being and Nothingness, L'être et le néant, he pointed out that our subjectivenesses have the ability to visualize the world as it is not and to dream of it as being something other than it is. And that negation is, despite our lack of free will, is the power of our freedom. And so we should dream well and live by those dreams, apply that negation rather than live in mauvaise foi, in bad faith and lack of honesty. Dream well. Decide what you are going to do to make it better. Think of things as they are not, and try to make them what they should be. Every day we should give to that which will outlast us, whether it's a tree, whether it's the coming generations, whether it's the commons of the earth itself. Our passage through life that way becomes more meaningful as time passes when we have given to something that is beyond ourselves, beyond the finite span of our own conscious existence in this in our current state before the next set of transitions. Always be optimistic. We should refuse the seduction of pessimism and cynicism. Paul Rusesabagina, the hero of Hotel Rwanda, in his autobiography, An Ordinary Man, wrote these wonderful words. And this was in the context of the Rwandan genocide in 1994, spring and summer of 1994. Human beings were designed to live sanely, and sanity always returns. The world always rights itself in the long run. Our collective biology simply refuses to let us go astray for long. Or as the French philosopher Albert Camus put it, happiness too is inevitable. This is why I say that the individual's most potent weapon is a stubborn belief in the triumph of common decency. It is a simple belief, but it is not at all naive. It is, in fact, the shrewdest attitude possible. It is the best way to sabotage evil. Never put off your regrets. Our regrets. Never bargain with them, nor ignore them. And of course, don't create new regrets. Always face them. They are the most powerful, and or I should say the most painful part of our own past. Don't put them off. Don't bargain with them. Don't ignore them. Do something about them. Which means, ultimately, don't leave unfinished business behind you. Make peace with your friends. You may not know that you're in conflict with your friends, even your close significant other. It could be the case. Make peace with your friends and with your enemies and with yourself, which maybe might be the hardest part to make peace with. Remember those here before us. Be thankful for their accomplishments. Let's avoid their mistakes and forget about the good old days. Make our own days good by our actions, by our savoring, by our making a difference. Look life in the face without pretense. In other words, both the happy and the painful. Keeping a balance, keeping a perspective. And that way we can do something to make a difference. Every day learn from and give back to those who will leave earth before you. That's our duty that's part of our duty to the past and to the soon to be past. Because remember, we also are soon to be past, as is everything that we look upon, just on different time scales. And also give to those who will be here after you and I are gone, the oncoming generations. Fill our lives with love and empathy for life, your human family, and your planet, and the world beyond. And remember, ultimately, love itself is the essence and the meaning of all. There isn't meaning beyond that is more important. Let the child linger. Don't be in a rush to grow up. Don't be in a rush to have others grow up. Don't be in a rush, period. Also hold and love that inner child of yours, perhaps long gone, but still here and never grown up. If you have not made peace with your inner child, how can you help others? Make peace and cherish and love that inner child who has in essence become beyond time and part of eternity now. The wonderful poet who wrote under the pseudonym William Shakespeare has within the sonnets some of the most timeless literature within the English language, or actually in any language, as well as the plays written in iambic pentameter, many of them. Covers the seasons. I'd like, in closing, for us to spend a few moments with the seasonal aspects of the sonnets. And it's set in the setting of love, because all the sonnets are in fact inspired by love. And in the case of the actual pseudonymous author who wrote under the pen name William Shakespeare, it was a forbidden love, in fact. But love is love. Let me not sonnet 119 or 116, depending on the indication that we have. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediment. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, a ship, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. For longitude, in other words. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, or no man ever loved. That's a reminder for those in the springtime of life, is that love is not changeable or just dependent on circumstances. Also within the springtime of life is the biological imperative for our species to go forward, and for any species, for all of replicating molecular life forms. Be as thy presence is gracious. This is from sonnet 10 and 17. And you see if you can figure out what he might be alluding to here. Be as thy presence is gracious and kind, or to thyself at least kind-hearted prove. Make thee another self for love of me, that beauty still may live in thine or thee. Okay, that's the imperative to make the next generation. 17. Who will believe my verse in time to come, if it were filled with your most high deserts? Though yet, what you deserve, in other words, though yet heaven knows it is but as a tomb, which hides your life and shows not half your parts. If I could write the beauty of your eyes, and in fresh numbers number all your graces, the age to come would say, this poet lies. Such heavenly touches ne'er touch such earthly faces. So should my papers, yellowed with their age, be scorned like old men of less truth than tongue, and your true rights be termed a poet's rage, and stretched meter of an antique song. But were there some child of yours alive that time, you should live twice in it, in the child, and in my rhyme. That's the second part of spring. Summer. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark, at break of day arising, from sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. Autumn. That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few do hang upon these boughs which shake against the cold, bear ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereupon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. And then the transition to eternity with Sonnet 74, corresponding with the season of winter. But be contented when that fell arrest, without all bale, shall carry me away. My life hath in this line some interest, which for memorial still with thee shall stay. When thou reviewest this, thou doth review, the very part was consecrate to thee. The earth can have but earth, which is his due. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So then thou hast but lost the dregs of life, the prey of worms, my body being dead, the coward conquest of a wretch's knife, too base of thee to be remembered. The worth of that is that which it contains, and this is that, and this with thee remains. In the words of a very wise North American Indian, Native American, when I am dead, cry for me a little. Think of me sometimes, but not too much. Think of me now and then, as I was in life. At some moments it is pleasant to recall, but not for too long. And while you live, let your thoughts be for the living and for those yet to live. This is the final resting place of Benedict de Spinoza, the man without a religion, cast out of his Jewish faith, rejected by Christians, except for a few Unitarians, by the way, in Holland, who befriended him and preserved his work and made sure that it was published to the world. And in the final section 6 of his Ethica, published in 1677, is some of the most enigmatic parts of his geometric philosophy, as he called it, his series of axioms and propositions and proofs and quod erat demonstrandum and so forth. And that was that a part of our minds that contemplate what is eternal, God, do not die with the death of our bodies, but live on under the form of eternity. And that is ultimately about what recognizing the passage of time is the transition and the contrast between the timeless and the timely. May our lives be timely today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Our closing hymn is number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to rise or sing as the Spirit moves you. Now, please rise and embody your spirit and join us in singing hymn number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do.
You got to do when the Spirit says do. You got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you got to do, oh Lord, you got to do when the Spirit says do. Spirit says do, 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 Spirit says do. You got to sing when the Spirit says sing. You got to sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you got to sing, oh Lord, you got to sing when the Spirit says sing. Spirit says sing, 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 Spirit says sing. You got to dance when the Spirit says dance. You got to dance when the Spirit says dance. When the Spirit says dance, you gotta dance, oh Lord, you got to dance when the Spirit says dance. Spirit says dance, 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 Spirit says dance. You got to shout when the Spirit says shout. You got to shout when the Spirit says shout. When the Spirit says shout, you gotta shout, oh Lord, you gotta shout when the Spirit says shout. Spirit says shout, 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 Spirit says shout. You got to do when the Spirit says do. You got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you got to do, oh Lord, you got to do when the Spirit says do. Spirit says do, 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 Spirit says do.
So now we'll have the closing benediction given by Dr. Lee Greer.
At this time, I would like all of us to quietly look within ourselves. Start with the child within, move to the persons next to you and near to you, and out to all of your fellow organisms, your fellow sentient beings in life in the universe, and be grateful for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee, for sharing your valuable time and insights with us this morning. It is sincerely appreciated, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
We will now have 10 to 15 minutes for discussion following the service for those who wish to share your thoughts and observations on today's topic. Please be aware that this will be included on the video that is posted. For the rest of you, you are now welcome to adjourn into the parish hall. Would anyone like to come up and share their thoughts? Diane?
Okay, I can't resist this. I love music. This was fun. I also think sometimes in lyrics, we can really absorb a message. And there's one thing that kept coming to my mind today, listening to this. I'm not going to sing it because my voice isn't what it used to be. But a long time ago, there was a man named Jimmy Durante, and he became very famous when he sang one song. And I think it was called the September Song. Now, I'm probably going to murder it a little bit, but the gist of it makes sense, I think, with what we were hearing today. Now, I'm going to just try to say it as much as I can remember because I think it's a long, long way from May to December. But the days grow short when we reach September. And these autumn leaves begin to fall. And now I'm kind of going to pull it together and say a little bit of it, which would be September, October, November. And these precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you. But I think we could add something to that and say, and these precious days, which are now, we can spend and do. Because action now and how we live our lives now, because we only have it for a short time. And what we do and the legacy we leave behind will either be remembered or it won't. But as we reflect on it, as we get older, as I am now, I think to myself, health isn't going to stay. But while we can, let's do. Let's do what we can to make it better for now and for those to come. That's something we have as a gift we can give because they are precious days. September, October, November, and now. Let's do. That's part of our autumn song, I think, too. Okay, that's the end of me. But I didn't sing. You're lucky. That was a gift I give you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Nick?
Good morning, I'm Nick. And boy, I tell you, Lee, I just absorbed that like a dry sponge into a bathtub. And one piece that did strike me was early on in the piece about, it was talking more like legacy, that do things that add to the world and that stay there after you're gone. And in my reflection of that, I realized that that's what we do here in church. We come in here, we absorb some of the things that go on here, we learn from it, we contribute to it in various ways, sometimes money, sometimes with time and talent, but we give that this is sustained and so that it's here after us for those who come after us. I think that's very important. And it's one of the reasons that I continue to come, because I want to see what is here, be here, that the principles that we have continue to grow and strengthen. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Nick? And I think we have Sue, who has some comments. Good morning.
I'll just lean with it. Hi, everyone. I'm Sue. Is that okay? Pronouns she and her. Thank you, Lee. I've missed a few weeks. I've really missed everybody. My father passed away. So thinking about mortality, I saw him it's been hard for me because I'm the only family living in California, but I was able to get to the East Coast and be with my living family. But I saw him in August and he said, I refuse to die. I refuse to die, he said. This was really resonated for me, especially what Nick was talking about, the actions we do on the daily for things that will live beyond us. But this idea of staying in the present, isn't it hard in a capitalist world where you have to plan for your week of work and what you need to accomplish? But I appreciated that reminder of staying present, and it might just be a Post-it note in the bathroom, you know, just the daily reminder. So thank you for that, Lee.
Thank you so much.
And then we have Bill.
You know, when I was younger, there was a movie series called The Highlander. Somebody, I'd mentioned it once to a friend, and he said that it's an absolutely B-rated movie, but with great production values. And there were these moments where you'd have this, from the gloom of a macabre sword fight in the middle of a New York parking lot, all of a sudden comes this surge of music, and the two Scottish clans are going to war. And there was this song that kept running through it and irritated the frack out of me. And because it was the whole, and I will sing it because I hate the song that much. Who wants to live forever? Who wants to live forever? Yo, it's I can't do immortality. The problem is with time, I gotta bring you guys along with me. And I just only have so much overspace luggage that I just cannot store that. So I have to be in the now. And in the irritating now that we've got, numbness has started looking really good. It's like, I don't have to be quick. I've spent my life as a klutz. So maybe if I'm just numb and grim about things, I can do the things necessary to do the things of the value of this song here, of the poetry that we've seen today. But I can be a living being if I just don't count on it all being in one day. But the idea that says, I don't want to live to forever, well, I'm in here with the rest of you, and I certainly would like it to last longer than it did. But sooner or later, I am going to have to say goodbye. So I am going to have to look at the here and now, this holiday season, this moment, this meal, this hanging out with friends. So I will, at the end, embrace the time that I'm in now. But if you expect me not to be sulking about it just a little bit, probably not going to happen. But I know that ultimately, you seize time, time seizes you, and then we both clutch each other, and it's all a little bit like somebody starting a wrestling match in a rowboat. I'm glad to be here, and I will be sad to see some of it go. But I am, at least to some extent, here and here now.
Thank you, Bill.
Now we have Hinka.
So Lee, it's good to hear from you. I want to tell you that, you know, you always give very in-depth sermons. And but for me personally, over the last, whatever, 5 years or something that you've been doing this with us, I think this one is the best. At least it spoke to me very deeply. And so I really appreciate it and appreciate the thought and intricacy, but poetic, just a lot of aspects of it that really appealed to me. I don't know if you also had a hand in, all the other parts of the liturgy that went around the sermon, but all of it came together really, really well. It was it was woven very nicely. So I appreciate that. And such words of wisdom that you gave us this morning, all of which I think are central to living our lives as we strive to live them, both for ourselves and for the people around us and for our community and what, as well as what we get out of life. And the mortality part and the preciousness of your days really spoke to me, having had been in a car accident on August 2nd and having broken my neck in 2 places. And it was in sort of in your neck of the woods. It was at Yellowstone National Park, but the third ambulance ride took me to a 3-hour ride to Billings, Montana, where I stayed in the hospital for 3 days there in Billings. So it, having something like that happen really opens you up and makes you, I don't know, with more open eyes
Yeah.
at life and the preciousness of it. And so I really thank you for this morning service. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. And yes, Kate Lewicki and I conspired to make the liturgy and all that went around the sermon as well. Yes.
Bill said happy Yule, Lee.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Happy Yule, Bill.
I think we have one other comment from Walt. Okay. And Lindsay after this.
I very much enjoyed this talk. I always feel like I should be taking notes whenever Dr. Greer presents something. So I endlessly do spin in the past, but it's better to be in the present and set a good example for the future. So I will be taking a class at some point within a year. I surely can do 9 weeks, and I suspect it'll be something having to do with great literature and perhaps even with Shakespeare.
Yes.
Count on it. Bite my bottom if I don't actually carry this out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we have Lindsay.
Hello, I'm Lindsay, pronoun she, her. I got it? Okay. I feel like I've been very painfully aware of my own mortality from a very young age. And I guess with the leaf analogy swirling down, I always felt like my leaf was gonna just fall and I was not gonna even live past 18. And at some point, something would be bad enough that happened and I'd finally end it. And I feel like it's only now being an adult older than 18 actually participating in my own life and trying to help myself get to a better spot, I've realized the importance of being present and living, like, I guess, participating in my community and loving my neighbors, talking to people, just because I feel like I lived a very cynical, like, just resentful life for a really long time. And I'm glad to, I don't know, know that my leaf is swirling slower now.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lindsay. And Ralph has a comment as well.
My dog always kisses me when we sing, and he's kissed me during Shakespeare as well. And I want to thank Lindsay for the 18. Because when I was 18, I was thinking I wouldn't make it to 30, and I'm 76. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to share their thoughts? Diane? So, Lee, I don't think you heard that, but to paraphrase it, Diane says, thank you so much for the message today. It resonated with all of us, and we really appreciate the gift. And we hope to see you again. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Okay, so if there are no further comments, we thank you all for sharing this time with us. Now, please join us in the parish hall for further fellowship. Thank you.
Thank you.